Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from PaulthePoke.com. We've got some breaking news out of Israel this evening. This is at least an hour, maybe 2 hours old. And the question is, Israeli nuclear facility at Dimona targeted? We are April 21st, 2021. We have rocket sirens. They've been sounded in the Negev, or the southern portion of Israel, near the Dimona Nuclear Facility, and explosions have been seen and heard near the nuclear site. And I got a little lay of the land here, taking a look at Israel. So the red cursor, this would be roughly the Dimona Nuclear Facility, according to Google. And so notice this facility is in the southern part of the country. Now, the Israeli military is claiming this is not an attack on their nuclear facility, but a misfire. And they claim the rocket from Syria, mind you, here's Syria up here, here's Damascus in the northern part of the map, here's the Golan Heights, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. They claim the rocket from Syria was targeting an airplane in the northern part, as an Israeli airplane up here in the northern part of the country in the Golan Heights, but it missed this airplane, and this missile managed to go all the way down pretty much the entire length of the country of Israel and land near the nuclear facility. That's what they're claiming. Huh. Okay. IDF spokesperson Hadai Zilberman made the following comment. There was no intention of hitting the nuclear reactor in Dimona. There you go. Okay. But the IDF was very clear regarding the specs of the missile. It was Russian-made SA-5 surface-to-air missile weighing several thousand kilograms with a 200-kilogram warhead. Now, they got that figured out without any problem. But, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either. Why would you go with a massive missile after an airplane? I'm sorry, very suspicious. I don't buy it. Now, the IDF also says they are continuing to gather intel on the matter. Here's the tweet from the IDF breaking: a surface-to-air missile was fired from Syria to Israel's southern Negev. In response, we struck the battery from which the missile was launched and additional surface-to-air batteries in Syria. So we blew up some other stuff along the way. And there's been a little tit for tat going back. And the thinking is it's Iranian proxy terrorism. And Israel's been shooting at these folks and blowing a lot of their hardware up in Syria. And if you're interested, timesofisrael.com, rocket alert sirens sound near Dimona, blasts felt in central Israel. You don't go after an airplane with a massive missile. Just don't buy it. But that's just one guy's opinion. Take it or leave it. Earlier in the day, or the day before, as they count time over there in Israel, a significant explosion occurred at the Tomer military factory in central Israel. The factory is home to secret weapons, missile technologies, and jet propulsion studies. Now, Israel states this was the result of routine tests. Injuries and casualties were not reported. A Tomer spokesperson indicated this was a controlled test with no exceptional circumstances. I'll let y'all be the judge of that. We're going to watch this. This is a 15-second video. I don't know. That's what they're calling nothing exceptional. Just your average little test explosion taking place near or in and around a factory in the middle of Israel. You can click on that again if you want to watch it. This is just on a loop. But this particular area is north and a little bit west of Jerusalem, as I understand it, kind of somewhere where the cursor is. And that's where this incident took place during the day. Of course, Iranian media, very excited, celebrating the matter. They're all over social media and Twitter. Very, very gleeful about the events taking place. So are several of the other Muslim countries in regards to what's happening in Israel today. If you're interested in this particular discussion, haaretz.com, Israel, powerful explosion rocks sensitive Israeli defense factory during test. There it is again. And then, keep the backdrop of the story is escalating military action and tension between Israel and Iran. And this is developing. So this is very fresh, very new, within the last hour, 2 hours at the most. And I'm going to close with Isaiah 54, verse 17, as a little reminder if anybody thinks they want to go get a piece of Israel. No weapon that is fashioned against you shall succeed, and you shall refute every tongue that rises against you in judgment. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their vindication from me, declares the Lord. So that's from Isaiah. I think he still means it. And by the way, the missile did miss the factory, and Lord help us if it would have hit that factory, or not the factory, but the nuclear facility. And as I sit here and I listen to this, it almost kind of strikes me that Israel is saying, "Hey, if you did that on purpose, we're going to give you an out. We're not going to accuse anybody of doing anything right now. But if we figure that out, and we figure that that was your intent to go after the nuclear facility, something of yours is going to get blown up, and it will be big. Something big of yours will get blown up. I don't think they're going to play around, but that's just my take on it. And again, that makes no sense whatsoever to go after an airplane with a 200-pound warhead and multiple thousands of kilograms of a rocket, surface-to-air missile rocket. Probably should have done a little bit more investigation. I'm sure some of you folks out there know what an SA-5 surface-to-air missile is, and I know they do use those to go after airplanes, but holy cow. I mean, you don't need 200 kilograms to blow up an airplane. I do know that. So, well, that would clearly do the job. That would clearly do it. Seems like a bit overkill to me, but what do I know? So if you're interested, please feel free to share with others at PaulthePoke.com. Also, you can type your name in down here in the gray box, which seems to be showing up here pretty consistently for some time now. Type in your email address. We will be more than happy to send you out something every time we publish something. And again, this is a developing story. Will be interesting if this just kind of goes away quietly or if this thing escalates. But I know anytime somebody would want to potentially or accidentally take aim at a nuclear facility that belongs to Israel, you're going to get their attention. So this is categorized under Persia, Elam, Iran. My gut tells me they've got something to do with it. Can't prove it. But they've been going back and forth, blowing stuff up out in the oceans, causing oil slicks on the Mediterranean beach, taking out commercial ships carrying cargo, cars, etc. They being Iran, taking out Israeli stuff, and Israel, of course, is responding. Iran's had a lot of stuff just mysteriously blowing up for about the last 12 to 18 months. So interesting times, and also looming out there. And if this would be determined to be caused by Syria, remember a little oracle about Damascus ceasing to exist as a city. And we also have Ezekiel 38 and 39, where Iran joins Russia and Turkey, and they decide to invade from about the area where the missile was launched up here in the north. Interesting stuff, interesting times. Appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. Keep your eyes on the news. Could be in for a wild week or so. Talk to you later. Bye.